As the 1969 season opened, the Buffalo Bills had nowhere to go but up. It was to be a season of beginnings, of rebirth, and the architect of the rebuilding was John Rauch, the new head coach, a man with a system and the knowledge to make it go. He also had a rookie, the most heralded college star of all time. And so it was that the Bills found themselves at the beginning of the road back. On opening day, Buffalo faced the first of many obstacles they would encounter on the road back: Joe Namath and the world champion New York Jets. For the second year in a row, the Bills were going with a rookie-studded offense. And number 34, Bubba Thornton, came out burning with the youthful enthusiasm of a rookie who has learned no fear. However, the Jets had earned their title, and despite warnings, mistakes against them proved costly as New York took a 19-3 lead. But then the Buffalo defense, led by number 71, Bob Tatarek, and number 72, Ron McDowell, began to frustrate the Jets' attack. In rapid succession, the New Yorkers blew their cool, and then a play. Then Jack Kemp threw to rookie Bill Enyart, who earned his colors while making the score 19-9. The New York attack suffered further embarrassment at the hands of an alert Paul Guidry. Guidry's theft set up a Buffalo field goal by Bruce Alford, and it seemed that the incredible was about to happen. The Bills had momentum and were closing fast. An interception by safety George Sains opened the door for the offense. And OJ Simpson came bursting through that door to make his debut. With rookie James Harris at quarterback, O.J. turned on the fire. Another rookie earned his colors, and the score was tied at 19 midway through the last quarter. It seemed too much to hope that the Bills, in their first game under a new system, could play even with the world champions. Unfortunately, the bubble burst, the dream exploded, and the Jets pulled it out. But the Bills had taken a big step on the road back. Even in defeat, they could be proud of the distance they'd come. The Houston Oilers loomed as the next obstacle in the Bills' path, and both times these teams met, the Buffalo offense would be driving well, all signals go, and then mistakes would creep in. It seemed as though an invisible thief was stealing inches, a small amount whose final total was counted in yards or points. In the Astrodome, the Buffalo attack was tricky and lethal. Punter Paul McGuire threw his first pass in 10 years as a pro. Butch Bird led the defense with 3 interceptions. Jack Kemp brought the attack home with a strike to Marlon Briscoe, but the attack withered in the face of error. And both times they played the Oilers, the Bills found that there were many pitfalls along the road back. When the Denver Broncos came to town, they were undefeated and fresh from an upset victory over the New York Jets. Under rainy skies, the Buffalo faithful displayed a flair for style and a hope for victory. They were not to be denied, for there was something wild and angry stalking the Broncos. A doomsday machine, a Frankenstein creation made of Stratton, grind, and crunch. Chandler, crash and bang. Sames, knife and slash. Jacobs, search and pursue. Steal and go. The offense got the ball, and the beat went on. A cloudburst of touchdowns. OJ all alone. Billy Masters across the middle. There was pause only for cheers and congratulations. A handshake, a hug. Then the defense was back. 11 angry men led by number 48, John Pitts, a third-year safety who gave his victim a glimpse of the end zone and then robbed him blind. And the beat went on. Butch Bird stunned Denver with a quick 6. Jack Kemp rained touchdowns on his receivers, and the beat went on. Billy Masters by a step which was as good as a mile. And Haven Moses by a mile, which was good for 6, and a final total of 41 points for Buffalo in their first victory of 1969. The Bills had hit a straightaway on the road back, and when the Patriots came to town, they found themselves caught in the headlights of a fast-moving rig. Again, it was the Buffalo defense, led by Dunaway and McDowell, Jacobs and Guidry, that brought the Boston attack to a halt. But the Patriots were capable of hitting too, and running back Max Anderson, number 22, was virtually finished for the season. When the Bills found that brute strength wouldn't do the job, they turned to the more subtle points of the game. Points such as Butch Bird's unabashed steal from Carl Garrett, or Haven Moses' streaking one-handed reception. But perhaps most subtle of all was substitute Preston Reitelhuber, number 31, rolling left and throwing a right-handed touchdown pass to Moses to win the game 23-16. With 2 victories behind them, the Bills traveled to Oakland, where they met face-to-face with the reality that the road back was still a long haul, and there were bound to be breakdowns along the way. For number 12, rookie quarterback Jimmy Harris, the game against the Raiders turned out to be the end of the line. His injury kept him out for the rest of the season. Jack Kemp went in and teamed with Marlon Briscoe, number 86, to finish the Bills' scoring. But no matter how you cut it, the Raiders were too much. They could do no wrong. The scoreboard told one story, but with the injury to Harris, the Bills had lost more than a game. Until the time of his injury, Jimmy Harris had performed with unusual coolness for a rookie. His loss was accentuated because he would also lose valuable experience in learning the Rauch system. Now the burden of the quarterbacking chores fell to Jack Kemp, a wily veteran of 12 years. But Kemp's style was not timid, and he often had to play with injuries. The Bills' quest for a healthy quarterback took on the aspects of a pilgrimage. Early in the season, it was number 16, Tom Flores, and later on it was number 18, Tom Sherman. But someone up there had decreed that if you were a quarterback for Buffalo, your A1 health status was revoked. Finally, Dan Dara, number 10, returned from the Army, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But the sigh became a gasp when, in the Jets game, Dan Dara hobbled off the field, finished for the season. On the very next sequence, it was Jack Kemp on a headlong rush that ended in unconscious oblivion. And the Bills again found that for those who deal in violence, there sometimes comes a silence when cheers turn to a stunned hush so quiet that a coach can hear himself sweat in anguish. And how many teams were playing with a number 86 at quarterback? Marlin Briscoe was the 6th Buffalo signal caller to see action in 1969. Without a full-time quarterback to direct the team, timing was never perfect. Plays disintegrated, or didn't always go as planned, or didn't go at all. An inch missing, a split second stolen. The invisible thief did his work well. He caused frustration, and he put the potholes in the road back. When the Miami Dolphins came to Buffalo, the Bills gave vent to their frustration. They crashed and crunched, pursued and destroyed, and came in waves and hordes of tacklers. It was newcomers and veterans in a blend of speed and cunning. It was Kemp to Briscoe for a score. But above all, it was OJ Simpson on a rampage. He darted and swerved his way toward daylight. He caught the ball in a crowd for one score, and soaring like a smooth-winged eagle, he glided 55 yards for another to give the Bills a 28-3 victory. It was his best day of the year, and he was appreciated for it. But things hadn't always gone that well. For O.J. Simpson had entered the league billed as an instant superstar. To many, he was already a nationwide celebrity who would tear up the pros the way he devoured the college boys. And as the legend grew, perhaps the name became bigger than the man. What people forgot was that the man was only human, and a rookie at that. O.J. Simpson made mistakes. He had trouble adjusting to pro-type blocking, and he found the defenses set against him. But through it all, he persevered. and no one intimidated him. He learned to use his blockers, men with massive mobility like Barber and B. Miller, Ritchie, Shaw, and Lucas, O'Donnell, and Costa. Behind these men, OJ became all the things he was supposed to be. Oil flowing against water. A fluid blur, a flash of color. A juking, faking huckster with the defender, a fool. A flim-flam man who limp-legged his would-be tacklers and left them gaping and bewildered. OJ Simpson, whose only credo was guile and grace and grab a bunch of yards. And Simpson wasn't the only newcomer helping the Bills along the road back. Bill Enyart, number 41, was a rugged, rumbling earth shaker who gouged out yardage any way he could. Rookie wide receiver Bubba Thornton, number 34, was reckless, daring, and tough. Number 30, Wayne Patrick, in his second year, put the accent on power. When Patrick came roaring out of the backfield at 254 pounds, he was the midnight special, highballing for pay dirt. In his second year, Haven Moses grabbed, bounced, and held on with youthful resiliency. He was a standout on Buffalo's offensive mod squad. And it was with these elements of youth that the Bills faced the elements of weather and the Cincinnati Bengals. It was truly a winter wonderland, and the Bengals seemed mystified by it all. The Bills remained alert and hustled to convert Cincinnati's snowcapades into points. But the offense could grind out only enough power to light 3 threes on the scoreboard, which gave them only a slight edge on Cincinnati. However, the defense continued the pressure, and in the end, the Bengals broke. Number 24, Booker Edgerson, borrowed the ball from Greg Cook. If Buffalo could win their last 2 games, there was a possibility that the road back could lead to a playoff berth. However, against Kansas City, the Bills were given little chance of winning because the Chiefs had been a powerhouse all year. Massive line made life miserable for Jack Kemp. And Kansas City's Mike Garrett scampered around like an unleashed atom. On this play, he set off a chain reaction between fence, woman, and trash can. The Chiefs' powerful running game gave them a 16-3 advantage in the third quarter. But then Mike Stratton and number 76, Mike McBath, chained the atom, and the Chiefs were forced to rely on Jan Stenerud. And he was reliable from any distance. Bruce Alford answered with a 44-yard shot of adrenaline that got the Bills' offensive system moving. Number 83, Bobby Crockett, who had missed most of the season with injury, roamed across the middle of the Chiefs' defense with the courage of a man in a minefield. It was Crockett who set up the Kemp to Briscoe touchdown that made it Chiefs 19, Bills 13. Time was running out, and again it was Bobby in no man's land, where the catch can make you big, but the hit can make you small. The price in the middle is agony, and sometimes the defender pays too. OJ made Crockett's sacrifice worthwhile as he went 32 yards to tie the game at 19. Unfortunately, the conversion attempt failed. Seconds later, Jan Stenerud kicked his 10th field goal in his 2 games against Buffalo, and for the Bills, it was all over. However, there was no disgrace in losing by 3 points to a team that would soon be world champions. The Bills had reached the end of the road for 69, but they could look back with pride. And they could look ahead to 1970 when number 72, defensive tackle Al Collins, a big hard-nosed warlord from USC, will be joining them. From San Diego State comes quarterback Dennis Shaw, number 12, whose poise is as unshakable as his throwing arm. And from Notre Dame comes number 61, guard Jim Riley, who seems to explode out of his position. For the Buffalo Bills, victory is waiting in the wings. They have youth on offense and on the defense as well, with rookies like number 47, Pete Richardson. And number 20, Robert James. To temper the mistakes and inexperience of youth, there will be the steadying influence of veterans who have had a year to learn Coach John Rauch's system. 1969 was a journey of learning, of trial and error. But the Bills' 4-10 record was an improvement and a beginning. Above all, it was a journey that took the Bills a long way down the road back.